A senator from Florida going after Medicare and Social Security? I tell you what, I don't know where, as they say in Southern, don't know where y'all been. Hot damn, boy. I tell you, look, it's so outrageous you might not even believe it. And again, word for word, all federal legislation sunsets, means goes away in 5 years. If the law is worth keeping, Congress can pass it again. In other words, it goes out of existence if Congress doesn't vote to keep it. Isn't that wonderful?
Finally, Democrats have gotten the wake-up call on how to adequately get to voters ahead of the midterms. Tell the truth about the GOP's deranged plans. Here's Joe Biden plainly saying that the Republican plan when they take over Congress is to raise the age of Social Security, aka taking money directly out of seniors' pockets so that the party can claim to reduce inflation and the deficit. This is what we should have been doing for weeks, if not months, but hey, at least it's finally happening. This is the risk of a GOP takeover in Congress. It's not a hot button issue like January 6th, but gutting Social Security is perhaps one of the most evil things our government can do, and you can be sure that the GOP will do anything they can to get rid of it. Oh, and other crap like this.
I believe when we take the majorities, and I think we're going to take both the House and the Senate a week from today, when we do that, I think one of the very first priorities needs to be defunding those 87,000 new IRS agents. I think right after that, we need to impeach Alejandro Mayorkas, the Secretary of Homeland Security.
Right. Yes.
And right after that, we need to impeach Merrick Garland for politicizing and abusing the Department of Justice and the FBI.
I've talked a lot leading up to the midterms about how the reality of a GOP takeover isn't necessarily another riot, insurrection, or even necessarily doubling down on taking away abortion rights, although those things are possible. I believe it's much more boring than that. It's going to be slashing Social Security and lots of pointless investigations and impeachment hearings for no clear reason. Although Biden isn't the most compelling speaker, what he says in this speech is true and chilling, and we must vehemently defend one of our government's most bipartisanly popular institutions. And we have to reject the bombastic rhetoric of people like Ted Cruz, who sound righteously angry, but are playing us, playing voters on the right most of all. It's easy for them to do these costly investigations because they're just toothless grandstanding so they can get away with more nefarious policies in the dark. That's their plan: distract us from the material harm they're doing to our livelihoods and sit us in front of panel after panel after panel. I mean, look at Mark Meadows. He's saying absolutely nothing of substance in this appearance.
And so I can tell you, we're working here at the Conservative Partnership Institute along with so many conservative members to say we want to have a boot camp the minute they get elected, where they come to Washington, D.C., and instead of trying to find time to find the bathroom, that we tell them what the real story is. How do you make sure your constituents are first? How do you make those issues that you and Amanda are talking about the top priority, and not just where their office might be? And so we have to hit the ground running. The people demand nothing short of a transformational change.
He literally is just saying words that mean nothing. Boot camp for transformational change? What are you talking about? Just be honest that you want your new members to be loud mouthpieces for MAGAism so that people don't see that you're stripping away protections from right under us. Thank God Mark Meadows and Cruz are so unlikable, because we still have time for voters to see through this hollow rhetoric, especially now that Democrats are saying the truth loud and clear. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.